everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Sharon, and this is a channel that is dedicated to all things related to narcissism. I've been married to a covert narcissist for almost 20 years. I'm separated from him now, and what I do with this channel is I use my real life experiences to get information out there to people about what narcissism really is, what it looks like, what it does to you, and what it does to your family. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the burden of being married to somebody who has a mental illness. A mental illness is devastating in a marriage. It's devastating in any relationship. But when the mental illness is narcissism, not only are you dealing with the shock of a new, ugly reality, but there is the added component of cruelty. Narcissists are obscenely cruel. They're calculating, they're manipulative, they are evil. Narcissism in a marriage is absolutely devastating to the marriage. It's a mental illness that is soul destroying to the person who doesn't have it. Once the narcissism is on full display, you stop living in the world that you knew. Your life is permanently altered. I used to live in California, but I didn't grow up there. I grew up in the East Coast. So I moved to California when I was 20. And a few months after I first moved there, I experienced my first earthquake. This was absolutely terrifying to me. It happened in the middle of the night. I was dead asleep. All of a sudden, it felt like somebody picked up the apartment and just shook it violently. And the thing is, for people that haven't been in an earthquake, you might not realize they're loud too. So there's this loud noise and everything's shaking. Things are falling off the shelves. Pictures are falling off the wall. And you can't do anything. You're just there, terrified. And once it's over, it's still not over because now you have to deal with the aftershocks. You don't know when there's going to be an aftershock. Maybe it's going to be in 20 minutes, maybe in 6 hours, 2 days, who knows? This is what it's like with narcissism. Your life is going along one way. All of a sudden, there's that horrible day when the narcissist lets you see the symptoms. They stop acting like the person they were pretending to be because it was all an act. Narcissists can pick and choose who sees their symptoms. That's part of the reality of narcissism. That's part of the devastation for you. You're conned. You think you're marrying someone who's one way, but the reality is that they're a completely different person than who they presented themselves to be. So one day, they start showing you the symptoms. Maybe they'll give you a silent treatment. Maybe you found out they cheated on you. Who knows? It could be anything. And that's like that earthquake happening. And now, for the rest of the relationship, you live in fear of the aftershocks. You live in fear. Oh no, you're walking on eggshells. When are they going to give me a silent treatment? When are they going to cheat on me again? When am I going to find out that they've charged up credit cards without telling me? Oh no, were they driving drunk with the kids? Did they steal money again? This is your life. This is your life when you're with a narcissist. You're always afraid. You're living from crisis to crisis. And the stress is eventually going to reach a crisis level. And trying to avoid the symptoms, the lies, betrayal, cruelty, backstabbing, silent treatment, the craziness, this is going to be what the relationship is centered around. You will feel your partner's narcissism with every single breath you take, every dream you lose. Narcissism is like an energy. It's like light. It can enter even the smallest crack of peace. You will be gutted, scared, resentful, a changed person. Who you were when you entered the relationship will not resemble who you are at the end of the relationship. If you've ever been to the dentist and had an x-ray, they put that heavy lead blanket on you and you could feel it. It's like this heaviness on you. That's what it's like when you're with somebody who has narcissism. You can feel the narcissism all the time. It's like a literal weight on you, and you take this weight everywhere you go. My ex weighs like 250 pounds, so I really do feel like I have the equivalent of that attached to me everywhere I go, because life goes on. When you are with a narcissist, once you realize what's going on, you still have to live life. It doesn't stop. You can't just sit at your house and just obsess over the narcissism. You still have to go to work. You still have to take your kids to school. You still have to go grocery shopping. You still have to make dinner. But now, instead of having some peace, instead of being able to breathe while you're doing these things, you have this weight. You're dragging it everywhere that you go. Life is never going to be the same again. This person will permanently alter you. Some of the things, some of your realities, when you are with somebody like this, is you are going to feel incredibly lonely. You're going to be isolated. Nobody else can understand. When you're in a relationship with somebody like this, you could be right next to the person. The person could be sitting right next to you, and you will still be alone. You don't have a partner. You are in a marriage, technically, but you're all alone. Somebody like this is somebody that is never going to be there. You don't have a partner. You really just have a ball and chain, and nobody else is going to be able to understand, because narcissists are manipulators. So they're the way you see the narcissist, the way your children see the narcissist, is not the way anybody else will see the narcissist. So you can't tell somebody this. If you tell somebody, they're going to think you're exaggerating. They're not going to believe you, because they know the narcissist too. The narcissist is a great guy, a great girl. You know the truth, but nobody else will. And the narcissist enjoys this. They enjoy hurting you. Narcissists are miserable people, but what they end up doing is they take their pain out on you. You have a job. You're the partner of a narcissist. You are the scapegoat. You are the punching bag. That's part of what you're there for. Because remember, they don't have any empathy, so it doesn't bother them to put things on you. It doesn't bother them if they hurt their own children. And that's something that's really going to be a problem. If you have children with a narcissist, you're going to feel a level of guilt that is cruel. It's unfair, because you didn't do this, but you still feel it because you love your children. So, your children are hurt by the narcissist, because not only is the narcissist being cruel to you, but they'll be cruel to their kids too. They don't care. Their kids will never measure up. For me, it's very difficult for me. I feel very guilty about having children with a narcissist, because my kids have been hurt so severely by their father. And how do you handle that when you love somebody? I love my children, and their own father has been the person that has hurt them more than anybody. They're going to take that into their adult life. My kids have witnessed so much, so many things that they never should have witnessed. They saw my daughter was woken up by the police coming to the door, because of her father. They have had so many difficult conversations with me. All right, guys, listen, I know Daddy didn't come home last night. He's out drinking. We don't know when he's going to come home. Let me talk to you about what alcoholism is. This is the type of thing you have to talk about. All right, guys, listen, last night, Daddy was brought to a mental hospital. All right, so I'm going to talk to you about that. All right, guys, listen. Last night, Daddy did this. Okay, so guys, I have to call the police. Stay in your room. I have to have the police come over. Then they see Daddy banging his head on the wall, bleeding everywhere, blaming me. All right, guys, listen. Child Protective Services is coming over because of Daddy. This is what your life is like. How are you supposed to handle this with your children? You can't handle it. It's not normal. This isn't something that people deal with on a regular basis, but you have to when you're with somebody who has narcissism. Then you're trying to help your kids the best that you can, but I worry tremendously. My kids are growing up in this craziness. Now, granted, I'm not with my ex anymore, but they've already seen all these things. They have no relationship with their father at all. Everybody else does. Everybody else they know has a relationship with their father. They don't. My daughter told me recently, one of her friends said to her, because, my kids don't talk about their father. So, some of my friends understand what has happened, but my kids don't talk about it to other people. One of my friends said to my daughter, so where's your father? Is he dead? Did your father die? And, my daughter said, it was horrible because I didn't know what to say. I didn't want to say, yeah, he's alive. She's like, I wish I could say, yeah, he's dead. This is what happens in your kid's mind. This is the type of reality that is going on for them. So I worry that when they grow up, how are they going to go out into the world and be happy, confident, successful people when they've been so utterly rejected by somebody who is supposed to love them beyond anybody else? How do you handle that? Being a single parent is a nightmare. It's not for the faint of heart, and you don't have a choice. Maybe you are the faint of heart and you have to still do this, and other people look at you. They look at you differently, so you have this shame. Because I'm aware that as a single mother, now I'm the person in the neighborhood who has the kids that are more likely to cause problems, more likely to be in trouble. I'm looked down on. I'm a single mother now. There's a difference from being a single mother from being a widow, and I feel that. And I try to just say, well, what am I supposed to do? And I try to move on and do the best that I can and be the best mother that I can and raise my kids as well as I can. But I understand the realities of this. Narcissism is just something, it has its tentacles in every area of your life. It's not just a mental illness that affects them. Their mental illness affects everybody connected to them. And you're stuck trying to deal with it, trying to survive, trying to make sure that your family is okay, and doing it with the weight of the world on your shoulders. It's a horrible, horrible thing. And you're going to feel lost because you know you don't have and won't have what you were promised. You see what other people have and you want that, but it's worse than that because you are the one who is abused. You're the one who is the punching bag. My ex would do things wrong, and this is what narcissists do. They mess up and everything is taken out on you. This is where silent treatments come in. This is where them cheating on you comes in. They blame you. It's your fault. You're just trying to do the best you can. You got into this relationship having no idea what was happening in the first place, and they just blame you. They alter you tremendously. Being with a narcissist can bring out physical symptoms. When I was with my ex, I used to get terrible migraines. I would get them on a regular basis. Every few weeks, I would get a devastating migraine. It would be so bad. I was literally in my bed. I couldn't move. My kids, it was like when I had a migraine, my kids were just on their own because I couldn't even parent them. I was so sick. It was so bad. I couldn't see any light. It was just absolutely terrible. Since I've split up with my ex, I haven't had one migraine, not one. That's not normal. You're having cortisol run through your body all the time. Your body is always in a fight or flight mode. That is very unhealthy for you. That leads to heart disease. A lot of times people, they can either become like obese or you could be really anorexic because you're not eating. It's really stressful. Mental illness is no joke. It will take everything out of you. Really, the only choice you have, the only thing that you can do if you're in a situation like this is leave the relationship. And I understand people don't want to hear this. I really get that. I really try to help people with my channel, and I'm trying to be real with you here. If you are holding on to the relationship, hoping, praying, dreaming that this person is going to change because you don't want a broken home, because you don't want to have a divorce, that is living in fantasy world. You cannot have a relationship with somebody who has a mental illness, particularly narcissism. A narcissist will take everything from you. They are really like a parasite. They will feed on you until you don't have anything left. They will destroy your life. What got you into the relationship with a narcissist was your kindness, was your love. You wanted to share a life with somebody. You still have that in you. I've realized recently, because I was a little bit afraid that because I was in this bad relationship that now I'm like permanently altered, that I won't have anything to give anybody else, that, my life has been, bled dry by this person. But recently I've discovered that that isn't true, that I actually still have love inside of me. There's light inside of me. I can have another relationship. I can be with somebody else. And that's a beautiful thing. And that makes me really happy because I did for a long time think, I guess I'm altered forever. I'm not going to ever be able to be with somebody. I'm not going to ever be able to trust somebody. And I also thought that because I had been on my own for so long that I just wouldn't be able to fit into another relationship. But I know now that that isn't true. And I'm telling all of you, if you're in the situation where you think, oh, that's me, I'm not going to be in another relationship, so I'm just going to have to hold on to this one. It's not true. If you have love inside of you, you can conquer anything. It's really true. You can still move forward. I know it's not easy ending a relationship with somebody like this because a narcissist isn't going to let go easily. They're going to want, if they don't want you to leave the relationship, if they don't have another source of supply, they're going to hold on tight. And that's very difficult when you're in a relationship with somebody like this. But try to look at it. Like me, for example, I'm going to be starting the divorce process pretty soon. This summer is what I'm going to do. And I'm looking at it, okay, I have probably a year tops of this hell. I have one final battle. I've been in my relationship for 20 years, and I'm hoping it doesn't take a year. I'm kind of looking at a worst case scenario, and I figure I've already been through 20 years. I'm at the tail end. I'm on the fumes now. I can do this. This is like all of us. One final battle and you can be free and you can live your life over and you can start over and everything is going to be okay. The narcissist took so much. Remember, at the beginning of the relationship, they targeted you. Now it's your turn. You know who this person is now. You need to take your life back. You need to fight this person. You need to grit your teeth and say, over my dead body. You have a life to live. You have a beautiful life to live because you have love and light and joy inside of you that is just waiting to come out. A narcissist has pushing it down. They don't want you to have this life, but you can have this life. As Alexander the Great said, There is nothing impossible to him who will try. You can accomplish anything you want if you put your heart and soul into it. Don't let the narcissist mental illness keep you down for 1 second longer. You have control in your own life. It doesn't matter what the narcissist has done, what the narcissist has said, how scared you are. You have the power in your own life. People have overcome tremendous odds, and these people are no different than you. It starts with the fight inside your heart. You can do this. I know you can. We can all do this together. I'm going to be doing this summer. I'm going to be making lots of videos about it. You're not alone. There's so many people out there like this. So many people send me emails. So many people have comments. You're not alone. We can all do this. People have gotten out. You can get out. I can get out. We can start over and have a beautiful life. Life isn't over just because we were with a narcissist. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm so grateful to everybody that watches my videos. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so. I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on all things related to narcissism. I hope everybody has a wonderful week. God bless you.